Good morning. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you. I'll say it like you say it. I'm fantastic and amazing, heading towards phenomenal.
Yes, indeed. That's what I expect today for what I've got planned.
Good. Yep, everything's good. So your week was good.
Yes, and it's going to get even better. Get even better.
Well, look, I want to cover a few things here. Just want to talk to you about a few things because, I had some discussions yesterday with some people about this business. They said to me, well, I got stuff to do and I keep finding other things to do in place of it. Like, I know I want to make these phone calls. I want to call these people. And I keep putting it off. Why do you think I'm doing that? I said, well, what are you asking me for? I mean, I can give you a logical general answer, but really you have to figure that out for yourself. So a lot of people are in the same boat, Mark. They're in exactly the same boat. They just put off what they have to do. And I think it goes back to what Safford taught me a long time ago, which was a lot of people are addicted to mediocrity. That's number one. And they don't know it. It's not something you can pinpoint. Number two is that they have something internal, something there is blocking them, saying, you can't be successful. You're not going to be successful. And they just don't do the work because basically they don't want to. And I think that boils it down for everyone that says, hey, if you know you have to go to work and you have to build this business, which means you have to make phone calls, you have to make connections, then you have to have a pattern of behavior to make it happen. Now, you and I talked about this. But I said, if everybody would understand, I know this, I don't care what company it is, I've never, ever seen it any different, that most of the people are not successful. The majority, well over 50%, and probably in the 90s still. But why is it that they're not happy with it? And the answer to it is they're not doing the work, period. Now, some people don't know what work to do. A lot of people, they don't know what to do. That's what we teach. That's where we come in and show people. And I said, look, if this company, any company, would have a work period, like you go to work 9 to 12, not, you go into a regular corporate job or conventional business, 9 to 5 every day. You have to go to work or you don't get paid, or you lose your job. So if we had a pattern here of behavior, a work pattern, and people went to work every day, let's say at 12 noon, and they worked for 2 hours. If the whole company did that and everybody knew they had to report and go to work, I mean, the idea with our company is to have freedom, but the truth is freedom without discipline is bondage. I'm going to say that again. Freedom without discipline is bondage. And most people are not disciplined in this business to have a pattern of activity. But if they were to work and go to work and do exactly what we told them to do, which is dial the phone for 2 hours and just make connections and send them to a piece of material, a website, AdTech Gold, the AdTech Worldwide presentation, one of those things, friends and family, if they had those 3 websites, depending on who they called, they were sending them to. And then after having them see that information, learn how to introduce them and have a three-way conversation with someone who knows how to do that. Imagine if the whole company, Mark, just like when you go to work at corporate, 9 to 12, 9 to 5, just imagine what would happen if everybody's activity level was exactly the same. Make the phone call, send them to a presentation, bring them, not schedule one for tonight at 9 o'clock. Forget that. It's a waste of time to say, well, when are you available? Okay, I'll send you Wednesday. Can you go Wednesday? Can you go Thursday? It's on, you become a beggar. But if you find the interested party by saying, I have this, information, we're expanding, we're looking for people. Go here and look, see if you want to work with us. That's as simple as it is. And if they don't show up, I'm going to let you give the answer, Mark. Today, this morning, what is your attitude towards that person who says, or hems and haws, or says, yeah, I'll be there, and they don't show up?
Well, I'll tell you, Joe. Let me start here for a moment. A singer, and I'm quite sure that many of you know because he was world famous, by the name of Michael Jackson, who's no longer with us. He made a song called "Man in the Mirror."
Oh yeah.
And I believe in keeping things real. I believe in reality because that's the only thing that makes sense is reality. And I know what I did recently is I looked at the man in the mirror. And I've always, everybody has heard me say, well, Joe, the last year plus, we've been spending our time and we've been spending our money, and we have to help everybody else out. And we've been giving them the education that they need. And we have. Now, here's what I came up with. I said, okay, Mark, you've been given, Joe's been given this and that and everything. Now, still, you are who you are. Take a look at yourself. You've been doing all of that. Now, take a look at the man in the mirror. And then I also talked to someone yesterday, and I asked them this question. I said, I want to know, first of all, what do we look for? We look for the interested party. We should not have to beg. We should not have to chase. We have something that the world needs. So my question to him was simply this. I want to know two things. What do you want from this business, and what are you willing to do to accomplish that? Because if I don't know that, then I can't help you. I can help you. I can give you the education. I can give you the tools. I can give you the communication. I can give you everything that you need to be successful in this business. But if you haven't looked at the man in the mirror and you haven't made a decision that you really want to work, because think of it, Joe, our brick and mortar is our home. AdTech Worldwide is an educational company that teaches people two things. Number one, we teach you how to have a successful business from home. And number two, we teach you, how to set your financial house in order. But guess what? You have to want to do this. No matter how much I want it for you, if you don't really want it for yourself, you're basically wasting your time. And mine too. So I say that to say this. I don't say that to be critical of anybody, because guess what? I'm critical of myself. The first thing like I said, the only thing Shakespeare ever said to me that makes sense was, to thy own self be true. So in order to be true to myself, I looked in the mirror and I said, okay, you did this for everybody. You did this, you did that. So what? What have you done for you and your family? What have you done for your business? If you have a brick and mortar business and you put $250,000 in it, guess what you have to do? You have to have a system. You have to give it time. You have to do what's necessary to make that business successful. Now, here's the thing. Do you really want to pick up the phone? Do you really want to deal with that 800-pound gorilla? Guess what? If you do, guess what you have to do? You have to do it and do it and do it until the job gets done. If you don't, this might not be the business for you. Do you really want to do this Karatbars business? Does it really mean that much to you? Well, it means that much to me, Joe, because my whole life has been about helping other people improve their lives. The problems that people have today are financial. Marriages break up because of finances and other things, but one of the biggest things is finances. People don't know what to do. We know what to do, and that's what we teach. So what I'm saying that to say this: if you know what to do and you don't do it, the only person you can blame is the man or woman in the mirror. So what I'm saying today, Joe, is let us all take a look at the man or woman in the mirror and let us ask ourselves these questions. Do we really want to do this? And you know what? If you don't, then you shouldn't even do it. You shouldn't even waste your time to come here. Because if you're not going to do it for yourself, why waste your time when you can be doing what you really want to do? Excuses are just what it says, excuses. There is no excuse. The only excuse is work. That's what gets rid of excuses. And that's what I've decided to do, Joe. I am going to prove that the 12-week plan doesn't work. But you know what? I believe that it works. The numbers don't lie. People do. So my point is the 12-week plan and the different funnels we have work only if you use them. And you have to use them every day. You have to set aside a time to make your phone calls. You have to set aside the time to connect with people and do all of those things. You have to set aside the time to understand the communication class, the presentation. All of that is your business. That's what you set up. That's what you paid your money for. So guess what? Like I said, if you paid your money, you can do whatever you want. It's your business. We can't tell you what to do. We can only suggest and try to educate you how to do this business. I am out of here. And what I mean by that is every day I am out and about to do this business to prove that the 12-week plan doesn't work. And the reason I say that is because I know it works. The majority of the people in this company, the 12-week plan is not working for them. And the reason that it's not, Joe, the real reason is simply this. They don't have the education to really back it up, to use it. I'm talking about the education of a phone call, the education of being a connector. They don't know how to do it. You don't just throw it up against the wall and hope it sticks and you tell your people, go out there and get me my money. You don't do that. It's a business. A business has to have a system. It has to have tools. It has to have the right product. We have it all. So what is our problem? W-O-R-K. And I'm saying Mark Stevens has looked in the mirror and he has written on his mirror, W-O-R-K. I will continue to give happily, but guess what? I am now going to work more for myself and my family. I've had them sacrifice enough. That's my speech for the day, John.
Well, the interesting thing is that you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. People need to go to work. And the bottom line is, here's what we're going to be doing this week. At 12 noon, starting tomorrow, we're going to be running the presentation. You want to go to work? Go to work today, connect with people, and then back it up with having them go to the presentation tomorrow. But don't wait. Don't wait for people and give them the opportunity to wait till tomorrow to see something. Send them a piece of information. Now that brings me to the Tools Rock. If you're not using Tools Rock, you're making a mistake. In Tools Rock, for $20 a month, you can get started and you can have 5 different websites to choose from. We built those websites personally, along with Jennifer and Anson. We built those websites, right? Now, You have access to every one of them. You can send them to anybody you want to. Now, we use 3 specifically. That's what we do. Some were trial and error in the beginning, a year, 2 years ago. So 3 of them we use all the time. But if you don't have a place for people to go to, if you think sending them to your corporate website is the answer, you're making a mistake. They're not for that. That's for education. That's not for go look at my website and jump all over the place and see. The websites we have are specific. Find out if you're an interested party. But if you don't have that, how are you going to do this business? And they are actually a contact manager. That's what those websites are. They're part of a contact management system, so you can consistently send people information and the right information. If you don't have that, honestly, I think you're making a mistake. You need to have that information in front of you. You need to study it. You need to learn how to do campaigns, set up campaigns, and give people that. If that's part of the work Mark's talking about. That's the work, part of it. Setting up those automatic invitation letters, which are known as autoresponders. But if you don't have the tools, you're not going to get this job done. You can't just get a website that doesn't have a contact manager or some kind of follow-up system for the person. And I know there's websites out there. There's some really good websites that people have created, but they're not follow-up systems. They're not part of a contact manager. They're just a website. First suggestion, if you don't have Tools Rock, send me an email. jpshoop@earthlink.net or the New Breakfast Club at earthlink.net and tell me you don't have it and you want to look at it. That's number 1. Today, make a plan for yourself. Get a plan together on what days you're going to work and start bringing people to the Breakfast Club, a new person, so they can hear this stuff, not just from you. The thing you should learn most of all for people's growth is to point up. Point to the people above you who you think are doing the job. And send them there. That means the Breakfast Club. Send them over to the Breakfast Club. That's what you should be doing. Let the Mark talk to them about what they should be doing and how they should be doing it. And put them in the system. But the truth is, this all boils down to one word. And the catch to it all, W-O-R-K, you got to go to work. And you have to do the right things at the right time. You have to have the education, the tools, the expertise, and the big capital letters support. Support each other. I know Bob and Sherry work together all the time. And I'll bet if he has to have a 3-way, he can call Sherry in a heartbeat and vice versa. You got to find, if you've been through the class, you've been teamed up with people. Are you working together? Are you still connecting and working together so you have support? The reason that I put all the people together at the end of that was so that they would support each other and learn how to do it. You shouldn't call Mark for a 3-way. You should call the partners that you're working with. If you haven't been in that class, well, you need to. You need to get in that class before the price goes back up to $100, which it's going to do. $29, $30, it's crazy. All right. So with that, let's make the commitment to go to work. Part of that is education. Part of it is dialing the phone, a big part of it. Connecting with people, getting Tools Rock, getting people to the Breakfast Club, getting into the communication class, and then getting people over every day, 12 p.m. Eastern, or 12 noon, should say, is the AdTech Worldwide presentation will be played. So if you bring people in, you're going to have a link to get there. And at 12 noon and 9 p.m., certain days at 9. I think we have, no, every day at 9. Sorry, not tonight, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 9, though, that's the day. Anson Ashby. So it'll be Wednesday when that's playing. You have 3 days, a couple of days to get people together to get there. You have today to bring people to say, hey, they saw information, but now maybe you want them to see that presentation, unless you've given them that piece of information. But you should be bringing people to show them that they're part of a group that does this. So with that, Mark, I'll let you close out. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow at the Breakfast Club and also at noon. So we'll close the Breakfast Club down at the bottom of the hour, which will be 30 minutes, and then at the top of the hour, it'll restart. So you can't stay on the line and expect to see it. It'll be shut down. You'll have to go out and come back in again to the presentation at noon. You'll have those instructions in an email, so watch for it. And once again, if you haven't been to the class, you haven't been to Tools Rock, you need to send me the email so I can guide you in the right direction and get there. So with that, over to you, my friend. Have a great day, everybody.
Again, let me say this. Let us all look at the man or woman in the mirror concerning the business that you took on. Most people prefer, you hear people say, well, you know what, if I had my own business, I would do it this way. I would work harder in my own business than I did for the man or woman. And what they're talking about is for the corporation. And you've heard me say corporations don't play fair. They only pay you enough so you don't quit, and you'll end up doing only enough work so you don't get fired. That's not good for anybody. So everybody says, well, you know what, if I had my own business, if I was the boss, this is what I would do. Well, guess what? Right now, today, this minute, this second, you are the CEO. You are the COO. You are the CTO. You are everything. You are your own business. You're in the position that you've always wanted to be in. My question to you, what are you doing with it? What are you going to do with it? What do you want from this business? And what are you willing to give to get what you want from this business? It's a numbers game. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's a numbers game, and numbers don't lie. The more people that you share this opportunity with, the more people that will come into your business, and your business will grow, providing you do the things that we talk about. Get them into Tools Rock, get them in system, get them into the communication class. Help them. The way you help them is teach them what you have learned. Now, have you really learned it? Can you really do that three-way? Do you really know what's in the presentation? Do you really know what's in that communication class that you've taken? Do you know how to use it? Can you just be out on the street and use it because you meet somebody and they ask you, what do you do? You know, can you answer those questions? If they ask you, well, are you making any money? Can you answer those questions? What we're saying is, let's use what we've learned over the last year. We have everything together. You really don't need anything else. The only thing we need to do is go to work. So I'm saying, I'm asking you, join with me and Joe, and let's prove, starting today, that the 12-week plan doesn't work. And if you really give it your all in all and it doesn't work, then we need to quit anyway. All of us need to quit. Well, let me say this in closing. I am not a quitter. I have learned that a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. This, like Matt Reddick, who's in the top 1% of financial planners on the planet, says this is the greatest business and opportunity in the world, bar none. And you know what, family? He's right. He's right. It is the best thing. Not lotions, not potions, not traveling, not all of that. It is this, what we do. It is helping people get their financial house in order. People are unhappy. And the reason that they're unhappy, they don't have money, they don't have time, and they don't have freedom. Guess what? We have the tools, we have the company, we have the product, we have that to give them time freedom, financial freedom, getting their house in order, we can help them. Look in the mirror, ask yourself, are you helping yourself? Because guess what? Before you can help anybody else, you got to help yourself first. So with that being said, I love you. Peace and blessings. I hope what I've said resonates with you, because it resonated with me when I looked at that man in the mirror. There are no excuses. The only excuses that you have is the ones that you make for yourself. Work, work, work. That eliminates the excuses. And guess what? People follow people with courage. Do you have the courage to pick up the phone? Do you have the courage to communicate and connect with people? That's all it takes. If you've got the courage, guess what? People will follow you. And that's what we want. Bring them to the Breakfast Club. We will educate them for you and with you. You will help us to do that. But the only way that can happen is that you're willing to do the things that you need to do to become successful. And are you willing to do it and do it and do it until the job gets done? That's how you're going to grow your business. And like I say, give us a year and look at it a year from now. And if you've done everything that you're supposed to do, I guarantee that you would have a phenomenal income that you can be happy with and that you can do the things that you really want to do. So with that being said, peace and blessings to you. Go out to make it a great day. Share this with somebody. Help them change a life, a career, a family, a situation. You can be instrumental in that. I want to see the change in the world, but we first have to be the change in ourselves and to be a change in anybody else and in the world, one by one by one by one. As a family, we can do something. So let's pull together. Let's build this thing. Let's build this Breakfast Club. Let's build this business, and let's help people get to where they want to grow, where they want to be. We have the tools. We have the product. We have the company. We have everything. The only thing that we need to do is go to WORK. So with that being said, peace and blessings to you. Go out and make it a great day. We will see you back here tomorrow on the Breakfast Club. So this is Mark Stevens for our host, Joe Shoup, saying peace and blessings, everybody. Go out and make it a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the Breakfast Club.